Welcome to Eric's Life, where every day is a new chapter. What are we doing today, Colton?
We're gonna die in a car accident because you're recording while driving.
Oh, I've done that so many times. You don't even know.
We're going to go see Star Wars.
Yes, we are. The Rise of Skywalker is in theaters today, December 20th. Ryan, Mom, and Dad have already seen it back home yesterday, Thursday night, and he thought it was a great ending to the saga, which means I'm even more hyped. The anticipation is real. And to prepare ourselves, Colton and I rewatched all of the Star Wars movies. Isn't that right, babe?
Yep.
So, did you like rewatching Star Wars and like having it all like recently in your memory?
Yeah.
What was your favorite film?
I forget the title of it, but it was one of the prequels.
Attack of the Clones is his favorite movie. Not favorite Star Wars movie, just favorite movie, period. It's been a toss-up between The Empire Strikes Back and The Last Jedi, but I've liked the sequel trilogy a lot. I like every Star Wars film, so I doubt there's going to be much negativity in this vlog, but we'll probably give our reactions after we finish seeing the movie, and it will be a lot of fun. It is really an end of an era, and there isn't much more to say than that. Alright, time to see the movie in the theater. Yeah, sure, I can do that. No problem.
Okay, yep, definitely. Oh my god, look.
Whew. 4 hours later, we've seen the approximately 2.5-hour movie, and we have survived. It was pretty amazing. Quite the spectacle, right, babe?
Yep.
But I will give you all, the audience, a spoiler-free review now, and then when I'm home for Christmas Eve, I'll probably do a spoiler review with Ryan and talk about how the circle is complete and how the saga feels as a finished story. But for now, we'll just give some general thoughts. I think the one thing that all critics and all fans kind of agree on for this movie, whether they like or dislike it, is that this movie is fast. There is hardly ever downtime in this movie, and it moves insanely quickly. It moves quickly basically for the entire runtime, but in different ways. The first half of the movie moves very rapidly in terms of they're going on a quest for certain stuff, and that quest has a lot going on in terms of the characters, heroes and villains, and in terms of just how many action sequences there are. There are a lot of action sequences in this movie. I feel like they are briefer than a lot of action set pieces of past Star Wars movies, if only to allow for more sequences of action. So, like there's one speeder bike sequence in the desert that we've seen in trailers, and there's obviously some lightsaber clashes that are alluded to in trailers as well. They're all very good, but they are zipping through this movie. Colton, what was your favorite part of the movie without spoiling anything?
My favorite part, without spoiling the movie, that one part.
He's sabotaging my channel, folks.
You put me on the spot. I don't
No.
I have not spoiled a freaking movie. That's nothing but spoilers.
What did you like? Action, tone, characters? Like, you can't. Your brain doesn't work. You can't think of anything. I'm editing our bickering out. So whenever you can think of something that you liked.
I like the bickering.
There was a lot of bickering in this movie, just like you and I do all the time.
There was a load of bickering.
There was lots of high emotions, tension. There's a lot going on. There is so much going on in the movie, and it really felt like a roller coaster. It is like a thrill ride in the cinema. Even other blockbusters like Avengers Endgame, for example, have more downtime than this. This movie is rapid, and some people have said, to its detriment or to its credit, that this movie has like a trilogy's worth of ideas. And that's kind of accurate because they've kept so much close to the chest, even through The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, that this movie has to explain a lot. I feel like it does so pretty effectively. And if you're a really hardcore Star Wars fan, I feel like the conclusions that are drawn in this movie really make a lot of sense. Whether you think they're awesome or just kind of expected, they do make sense. I feel like it makes the saga do feel like a cohesive whole. And there have been little puzzle pieces placed throughout the canon in books or comics or TV shows in the past two sequel trilogy movies, and really all the movies in a sense, that help explain where this movie goes. So, in my opinion, I do think the trilogy and the saga feels cohesive and sensical, especially in a more of a spiritual sense. Some of the leaps of faith that you have to take to get to where this movie ends up, for instance, with the Emperor being revived, because that's not a spoiler, you just kind of have to like accept things in this movie, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. If you get hung up on, oh, that's the truth, that's where we're going, and if you really get hung up on that, I can see someone not enjoying this film very much, at least on a first viewing. I feel like this is a movie that will get better with age and repeated viewings, because there's no more surprise on another viewing. You just kind of accept what has happened and you go with it. And in that respect, I feel like this finale isn't any worse than, say, Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is a movie that kind of messes around and wastes time for an hour. The Jabba's Palace scene is like a fun adventure where our characters are working together. It doesn't have a lot of bearing on the entire Skywalker story. This movie, even when they are going on fetch quests like a video game, there are threads that tie your main characters to their internal conflicts and the rest of the story. And in that way, I feel like The Rise of Skywalker is a better finale to a trilogy than perhaps Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith is kind of a perfect tragic capstone, but it has its own problems that the prequels have, kind of like a stiltedness, and there are things that you just have to kind of accept and believe in that movie, like Anakin's turn to the dark side. And Return of the Jedi, while having an amazing climax, also has a lot of stuff that's just like, why is this in the movie? So I really feel like The Rise of Skywalker, at the very least, is on par with the other finales of Star Wars movies. Empire and Last Jedi still remain my favorites by a pretty big margin, and I don't think that's going to change. But this movie was great. It's hard to compare, and it's hard to even give it an objective like review or rating, because I am such a huge Star Wars fan. And the fan service in this movie feels mostly earned most of the time. Sure, I think a lot of people are going to call this movie nostalgic and indulgent, and those aren't necessarily incorrect criticisms, but as I was telling Colton when we got out of the theater, it's like, how do you expect a 42-year-long pop culture phenomenon in one saga of 9 movies to not be indulgent in its finale? It would kind of be impossible. And if they did throw out all of the fan service, some of which is a really big credit to the story and the emotional weight, if they threw it all out, this movie would have so many missed opportunities. And I feel like J.J. Abrams' vision was a little more original this time than it was with The Force Awakens, and he was a little more daring. There are certain things that respect The Last Jedi in this movie. There are also a couple moments that feel like betrayals of things in The Last Jedi, but I in a way, I feel like that feeling will pass in time, because a lot of the twists in this movie feel like they make sense, even if they might not cause a happy reaction at first. But maybe it will for you immediately. I don't know. There's just a lot to take in this movie, and it started, and I was full of anticipation, like just that primal childhood excitement. And then I was like in awe and in dread of the villains, and I laughed in this movie, I cried in this movie, especially during a segment toward the end of the second act, and then I was just really happy. I was full of elation by the end of it, and I was excited and anxious. Like, this movie made me feel a wide swath of emotions. Disney's been killing it this year. Avengers Endgame was similar, but at the end of the day, I'm a way bigger Star Wars fan, so it helps in that respect to be a huge fan. But I felt everything. I felt the Force. And there are a couple moments in this movie that are some of the best scenes in all of Star Wars. So, if you like Star Wars in any capacity and you're not going to see this movie, in the words of Reggie, what's wrong with you? Ryan, what do you think about the Skywalker Saga now that it's over?
It's a lot, but I like it.
Do you love Star Wars still?
Yep.
Nice.
I think I do. I think I do, as I'm surrounded by Star Wars shit.
What's your new favorite line in Star Wars? There's only one correct answer.
No.
Discussed this already.
I can't even remember how Poe says it.
No Jakanka.
No, Chikanka. That's it.
Sorry, spoiler warning, everyone. Actually, I said there would be spoilers in this part, so no Jakanka is fair game. We got Star Wars Monopoly. The Saga edition.
It's weird seeing all the freaking numbers together.
I know. It's weird. It's weird seeing an X and a Saga number. The Roman numeral X.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Well, it was really nice coming home for the holidays. So this Christmas Eve, came back to Warren, PA, to see The Rise of Skywalker with Ryan. So I saw it a second time, which is a lot of fun. Brandon came along as well, and one of Ryan's friends, Michael, was also seeing it for the first time. So we got to be with people who were seeing it for the first time and also experience it together, and re-cement our thoughts that it's a pretty great ending to the Skywalker Saga, and it's got so many amazing moments. And when you analyze the saga and the film again, I feel like there's a lot to be found within Star Wars on a very sentimental, spiritual level. It's a fitting movie to come out around the holidays, as most of the Star Wars movies have of late, because they really bring family and friends together. So yeah, great holiday season. Enjoyed Christmas Eve as usual at Papa and Frankie's house. Got to see the extended family and enjoy some quality time with them, and then open up some presents at home and hang out with Scout, our dog, and Roger, our good old cat, and just kind of experience the same things that I would normally on Christmas Eve. And now I am driving back home to spend Christmas Day with my mate for life, Colton, and that'll be a separate vlog where we open our presents and do a whole lot of fun stuff. But yeah, overall, an amazing Christmas Eve. And in Star Wars itself, it was a really good thing to tie it all together. Yeah, it's the end of an era, which is pretty exciting. And Ryan and I both really enjoy the film, joking aside, because there's lots of things that you can joke and pick at for every single Star Wars film. But yeah, we do think it is an amazing time in the theater. You should go see it. Won't be including many deep spoilers in this video, because everybody should just go and experience it for themselves, especially if they're a fan and they've been waiting to see how everything concludes. So on that note, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you before the end of the year for a couple more videos heading to the channel, and just more exciting things are on the way. Thank you so much for watching. This is Eric Savinsky, and I will see you in the next chapter.